You have watched our previous episode where we made predictions about UFC 293, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're here from that episode, then you'll know we have the best takes in MMA, and what we say always happens.
Or you might think we're casuals, but either way, you're watching.
Moses, have you seen the lineups yet? Let's go fight by fight.
Yeah. Let's do. That main card is stacked.
It's
stacked
yeah.
from the bottom up. You got Tony Ferguson. I think that's the first fight on the main card.
That is no, it's not actually. The opening fight is probably the main event.
Oh yeah.
In the main event on Friday night when they do the press conferences, it's going to be Ian Garrie. Okay, versus Vicente Luque. Luque has.
Garrie. He's a cuck.
I saw something. They're like, as soon as someone asks Ian Garrie a question, before he even replies, everyone's going to be already grabbing their microphones.
Yeah, and Colby's on that panel as well. Oh my, for a fact, Colby Covington's he's gonna go at that. I feel like he's gonna go at that. They're the same weight as well, aren't they?
They're in the same division.
Yeah, welterweight.
Yeah, they're in the same division.
Ian Garrie, bro, just do a no-show. Just don't pull up.
Do a McGregor.
Yeah.
Just show up
to the fight because fuck, there's a lot of things to talk about with Ian Garrie.
Being an idiot is one thing. Having beef with being a cuck.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like especially as a fighter, like you're a fighter, people see you as like, alpha. Sean Strickland. Look at Sean Strickland. Prime example, alpha, this
Khabib.
and that. Khabib, you're like, you just picture like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you live with your nutritionist who's also your wife's ex-husband.
Yeah, that's...
You live in his house. Okay.
How does that arrangement work? How does that work?
Have you ever watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah.
Charles lives do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like, how does...
I feel like that's... What, do you just dap each other up in the kitchen? Like, how does that... I feel like that's weird.
I really hope Colby Covington gives him grief in the press conference. But all that aside, let's talk about what we're actually here to talk about, which is the fight against Vicente Luque.
Yep.
I don't see Luque offering anything of danger to Ian Garrie. Like, despite the cuck and he's a bit of an idiot and he's a show pony, he's 13-0 and undefeated.
Yeah, I'd say it pains me to say, but I think Ian Garrie has that fight pretty easily.
Yeah. Like I think Ian Garrie's going to...
When was the last fight Vicente won? Against a notable...
I think he fought Bilal Muhammad last and he lost.
Yeah.
I think that was his last
I feel like
fight.
He's always been like a gatekeeper of the division.
Yeah.
He's
he's a good well-rounded guy, but...
He's like a Neil Magny. He's just there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, and if he's anything like Neil Magny, I think we've seen how good Ian Garrie is. I mean, he's freaking phenomenal. Like, let's be real. He's he's actually an exciting fighter, despite being a wanker. and an
a wanker.
Yeah, despite being a wanker
with a UK accent, a wanker.
You fucking wank. Trying to be MMA guru, you gotta.
Yeah.
Ref,
you fucking
ref. He's
dead. He's dead.
That's the greatest.
He's funny.
That's the greatest.
The way he over exaggerates, it's like I watched that event, but I'm like, oh, that's a late stoppage. Ref, he's dead.
Ref, he's dead. He's dead. You fucking cunt.
You fucking idiot. Fuck you. That fight. So we're both saying Ian Garrie for that fight.
Ian Garrie's like unbelievable. He's 13-0. He's got
dangerous leg kicks. I don't know if you saw obviously that fight against
Neil
Magny.
Oh, was it Jeff? Someone. It was someone.
Was it
Magny or
Magny?
Jeff?
I think it was Magny.
It was someone, but
he was like fucking putting his finger up during the fight.
He beat him up, bro.
Yeah, he bullied him. He literally bullied him. Fuck, that was a crazy fight.
And you can argue. I think if Ian Garrie wins this fight, it's a title shot.
Ooh,
He'll be yelling for a title shot.
Yeah. What? You reckon he's done enough to deserve a title shot?
No, I don't think he has, but knowing the UFC, will they not give it to him?
He'll come up with that Irish accent. Give me the title.
Yeah.
Give me the title.
I want a title fight. And I mean, it's worked historically.
Yeah. I think he's marketable as well. Even though this whole cuck thing's bad, but you know how they say bad publicity is also good publicity? I feel like it's going to help him as well.
There's no such thing as bad publicity. Yeah.
People are going to want to see him lose. He's going to become that hated fighter, I feel like.
Exactly, and he's going to be a very successful hated fighter because I don't see him losing.
Yeah, he's a big welterweight, by the way, before we continue.
He's long, bro. He's long.
Reach.
And
he's
kickboxing 10 out of 10.
Yeah, he can definitely be dangerous.
He's going to be exciting. So we're both going Ian Garrie for that fight.
Yes, sir.
By way of knockout. as well. You heard it here first.
You go on knockout?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably go TKO as well. I feel like Vicente's got a good chin. I don't know if...
Gary's a bit way longer, though.
Yeah.
Way longer.
He's got hands as well, though, eh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Next. I don't know why they do this to him. Tony Ferguson versus Paddy Pimblett. Now...
RIP in the chat. RIP.
RIP in the chat, because this has the MMA community in such a debacle, because you're like, I don't want Tony to lose.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to beat Paddy. But he should
Tony
beat Paddy.
wins, yeah.
And no one wants Paddy to win. No one's team Paddy.
No. Yeah. I feel like Paddy's become that hated fighter this year.
Like that.
Yeah. So quick.
Overnight.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of based on his performances and like this fact that he's scraping these wins. You know, he's not really being humble about it as well. Especially the fight against Jared Gordon, I think it was.
Well, he didn't win that.
He was supposed to lose. Yeah. I watched that fight. I was like, man, the other guy was piecing him up.
That was arguably probably the robbery.
Yeah, that was a big robbery. Probably robbery of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like he's definitely that hated fight. And I feel like the UFC's smart the way they put Tony Ferguson. You think a lot of people love Tony Ferguson against Paddy Pimblett. So it's like the fighter everyone loves against the fighter everyone hates. And when you have that, you have a big money fight, and like everyone's going to be rallying for Tony.
That's true. But
it's going to be tough.
But having said, look, Tony is now training with David Goggins.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't know how much that's going to help him in an MMA fight. I don't know if that's an effective style of training. I'm not an expert. I do train. Yeah. And I don't think training with David Goggins would benefit me personally leading up to a fight. I don't know how Tony...
Yeah, I feel like...
Tony Ferguson's problem was never cardio, and it was never a gas tank.
He's always had a gas tank for days. And I've seen bro, have you seen the footage? He put him through something called Week of Hell or something. What's it called?
Yeah.
And he went through that. And that shows you how good his cardio is.
Tony Ferguson, who is a cardio monster, was throwing up.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's a cardio monster.
And David Goggins is sitting there just like not even breathing heavy. He's like, come on, man, let's go, man.
And that kind of makes me worried, because I'm like, is that what Tony Ferguson needs right now? I think he needs more. But then again,
I feel like that would help. Yeah, I was going to say that would help mentality-wise. Maybe that's going to push him to a limit, because you got to push past limits. I feel like to increase your, your drive and your mentality, and maybe that's what Tony's missing. Maybe he's missing that like mentality and drive to win, which I hope it doesn't affect. I hope that actually helps Tony. But the main problem with Tony is his actual fighting, his ability. He's obviously not the same person. He's almost 40 now. He's aging. You know, with age comes, you become slower. You're not going to keep up with the guys anymore. Paddy's young. Paddy can move.
He's not that young.
How
he's in his 30s as well.
Is he?
Yeah. Everyone thinks Paddy's young. He's actually pretty old.
I don't know. I saw the luscious hair and I was like, fuck,
he's
like 20s.
Look, he's 29. Which is, it's not that young.
I feel like Tony's still got like 10 years on him.
He does have 10
Tony's approaching 40. But, you know, Paddy's obviously the more fresh person. But in saying that, Paddy's not that great either.
He's not.
Would you say it's a 50-50?
I wouldn't say it's a 50-50. I think if you're Paddy, you need to win this fight.
Oh, 100%.
You need to win.
You need to shut out the fans.
Yeah. If you're Paddy needs this way more than Tony needs this. Let's get that clear. Yeah. If Tony loses, we'll just be like. But then also, if Tony loses and Paddy wins, no one's going to give Paddy any flowers or any credit.
Yeah, because it's like, what did you do? You were supposed to do that.
It's like, a 23-year-old beating Anderson Silva.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean? You don't tarnish Anderson Silva.
You're versing a vet. It's like they feed you these vets to put them away.
Adesanya, when people make Adesanya GOAT debates, they don't say, oh, but he beat Anderson Silva. Because that wasn't Anderson Silva.
Yeah, that was like a shadow of Anderson
So,
Silva.
look, Paddy needs this. I think Paddy gets it done. It hurts me. But I think Paddy by submission, round 2.
Yeah, I'd say rear naked choke or something, maybe like round 2, round 3.
Paddy's jiu-jitsu is very, very good.
Yeah, it is.
Tony's is too, but...
Tony's been tapping recently, though. He tapped against Bobby Green.
Tapped against Bobby Green.
Who got laid out unconscious recently.
Next,
stoppage.
Another old man versus a newcomer. It's Stephen Thompson versus Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Like you look at it and you go, yeah, Shavkat. But Wonderboy
can move.
Wonderboy can move. He can catch you.
At 40 as well.
At 40?
The fact that I was in shock when I saw his age tells me that he's performing beyond his age.
He's
crazy.
A freak of nature because he's always been a student of the game. He's always like, if you've always looked at him and you've gone, everyone said karate would never work in MMA. He showed people that karate can.
He's
work
like
in
that
MMA.
one fighter in UFC that you pick because of his striking. He's got like
In
93
the
striking.
game, you always got Wonderboy. You go, fuck yeah, I want those kicks.
He's got his kicks are fucking lethal.
He's
in the game as well.
He deserves so much respect because he's the first fighter that combined karate, taekwondo, MMA. He's even got good wrestling.
It was very kick reliant, which you don't
in
see
a
much
nice
in
way,
fighters.
in a very beautiful way.
Yeah, very beautiful.
An artist.
I feel like with taekwondo and karate, it's one of those. They're like more of an art. You know what I mean? The way they kick and just like
but if you can
precision.
If you can learn to translate that to MMA, you get people like Wonderboy who are 40 years old. And he just beat Kevin Holland recently as well. So he's not on a
He's
losing...
not no slouch.
He's not on a slouch. I don't know if you watch a lot of Wonderboy. I follow him very closely. He's always in the gym, man. He's always training. He's
one of those fighters that actually loves the sport.
He lives and breathes
He lives
MMA.
and breathes it.
Yeah. Like,
he posts on I think he's got a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, he breaks down fights after they happen.
Yeah.
So like he just loves the sport, and then you've got an animal.
Yeah.
In Shafkat.
I love Shafkat, man.
I like him too.
He's a guy that's going to make a far.
But he struggled in his last fight. Let's be real.
Yeah, it was a bit. His last fight was Jeff Neal.
Let's see. Jeff Neal submitted him at the end of round 3.
Yeah.
But just could not and he got caught a couple of times. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
But if you go back to Shafkat Rahmanov versus Jeff Neal, you'd notice that Shafkat got caught a couple of times and
in the striking, right?
Yeah. And there was moments where Jeff Neal he couldn't put him away. Eventually got him to the ground.
Shafkat's striking's not bad either. He's like one of those. He's not very wrestling reliant, but he can wrestle obviously as well.
I think he's going to need to this fight.
Yeah.
Do not.
Don't chuck a Kevin Holland.
There was someone that fought Wonderboy.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly who it was, but fought him, took him down to the floor, mauled him, had his way with him, and then finished him, right? And after the fight, they asked him, why'd you do that? And he said, that's a K1 kickboxing champion. I'm not going to stand in front of him.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that. Fuck no.
100%. It's your strength. You got to use it.
Yeah, and it's
Wonderboy's always had that weakness as well, where he's like obviously such a great striker, levels, but in terms of wrestling, he's not really. He doesn't really use that.
No, he can. I think it was Bilal Muhammad. If he didn't finish him, but winner by points.
Decision, which is typical of
winner by
Muhammad.
points. But he said, that's a K1 kickboxing champion. Fuck, I'm not going to stand in front of that.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you're a Shafkat, you don't. So
don't do a Kevin Holland, because Kevin Holland, I think he made an agreement with Wonderboy. I remember he's like, we're going to just sit, we're going to stand and bang the whole fight.
Yeah, no wrestling.
It didn't work out in his favour.
But thank you for doing that. Like, what a fight that was.
Yeah, it was a great fight.
So what do you pick in that fight?
I'm going to say Shafkat. I think Shafkat's the fresher guy. And I think the blueprint obviously was laid out by Bilal Muhammad, take him down.
Yeah.
And if you nullify Wonderboy's striking, that's your path to victory. And I feel like Shafkat, this is his moment where he has to shine.
It's very official. I'm going to have like a path to victory banner.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's path to victory for Shafkat.
That's a saying. That's it.
Yeah.
Quote it.
But
I think Shafkat. I think Shafkat's fresher. I think that's Shafkat's fight to win. And I like how with Shafkat, he's not getting thrown into the deep end immediately. He's building up that experience, even though he's very underrated. Very underrated.
17-0.
17-0.
17-0.
He's doing what he needs to do. He's winning, but he's not getting thrown in the deep end immediately, which is...
I call that the O'Malley approach.
Yeah.
To a title.
Yeah, it takes longer, but you build up your experience and you fix your weaknesses along the way.
So you reckon Shafkat by decision?
I'm going to say Shafkat decision, or submission.
Okay.
Do I have to pick one, or
just pick one?
I'll say submission.
Yeah.
Do I have to say what submission?
Clarify what submission. Really get those multis cooking.
Yeah. Arm triangle, and Wonderboy is going to tap 5 times exactly. I've got to be very specific.
What's the odds on that one?
Yeah, throw in your multi. That's it.
I'm going to go Wonderboy by head kick.
Ooh. So you reckon Wonderboy is going to finish him?
Head kick as well. It's going to be one of those. Shafkat's going to get lazy and shoot for a double leg, because don't forget Wonderboy's good at sprawling. Yeah. He'll sprawl a couple of them. Shafkat's going to get lazy and shoot for a double leg and just get kicked in the face.
Bro, if that happens, I'm gonna go fucking.
Very likely.
I'm gonna go berserk.
Like if anyone can,
it's possible, 100%.
If anyone can, it's that guy.
Yeah, Wonderboy.
I'm literally gonna skip the co-main. I don't give a flying fuck about.
Oh wait, what's the
Brendan Royval versus Pantoja?
Oh, I was gonna say that. Yeah, I skimmed through
that. That is the most boring division in the UFC. Dana White, if you're watching this, you're probably not, but if you're watching this, make all those fighters please just gain 10 pounds and move up and make the bantamweight division
just
more interesting.
Abolish the flyweight.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, abolish.
Don't even take all of them. Just take Brendan Moreno. Figueiredo's already gone up. Just take Brendan Moreno, Kai Kara-France, and Manel Kape. Okay?
Yeah.
Take all of them to bantamweight. Tell the rest of them to go.
If Manel Kape starts winning, it's going to get fiery.
Yes,
it's
but
going to get fiery. But at this stage,
now we get Pantoja versus Royval.
I'm sorry, but no one gives a fuck about Pantoja. Like, I'm not going to lie. Straight out.
He did well to beat Moreno. Okay,
Yeah.
it was a good fight, but Brendan Royval in the last, he hasn't beat anyone.
I have not. I could not name you one Brendan. What's his name? I forgot his name.
He's Brendan Royval.
Royval, yeah. I can't mention one fight.
So in the last 4 years, Brendan Royval's fought Brendan Moreno twice and lost to him both times.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so and then he fought Pantoja and he lost to Pantoja in 2021 already.
So
and then in 2022,
we're rematching across the board.
In 2022, he beat an unranked flyweight, and in 2023, he beat another unranked flyweight.
Fuck. It's not hard to get a title shot at flyweight these days.
Like we had to run Moreno and Figueiredo 4 times in that division.
Yeah,
that tells you.
You know what? I feel like when those fights were happening, it was exciting for that division.
But yeah, because
the Figgy Moreno
it's two
fights.
guys.
Yeah, it's two
guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
if you need to have 2 guys.
If it was Volk versus Holloway like 7 times, we'd be like, come on, dude. Like,
he's a dragon in now. You know what I mean?
But
we could get a 4th fight if Volk beats
the UFC needs to do something about that division. Honestly, take the 3 fighters that I listed: Manel Kape, Brendan Moreno, and Kai Kara-France. Just take them and throw them in bantamweight.
Yeah,
and tell the rest to go home.
Just increase the meat in the nutritionist diet. Just
gain 10 pounds and just make the but then it'll make bantamweight more interesting.
Yeah, 100%.
Can you imagine if we're potentially going to get Manel Kape?
Bro, it's already interesting. So it's like.
Exactly.
It's going to get crazy.
Manel Kape gets thrown in there and starts shit talking Marab.
Sugar Sean and
Sugar Sean, Marab, like all those little guys.
Yeah. I love Manel Kape. He's
bro.
He's bro.
I fell in love with him.
Bro, I did not know who he was.
Me too.
But I saw that press conference and I was like, who the fuck is this guy talking shit to Izzy? And it was like a kid. I was like, who's this kid talking shit to Izzy?
And he was talking good shit too.
Yeah.
He was like,
come on, motherfucker.
Go beat off to your cartoons.
Yeah. Your cartoon porn addiction.
Cartoon porn addiction. Fuck. Yeah. That's
I was like, bro, that's fine.
And then after the fight, you and your teammates was a bunch of faggots.
Yeah. He just says that on the mic. You're going to have to bleep that, of course, after.
No, fuck no.
Fuck it.
No, go.
Chuck it on Rumble.
I'm sorry, YouTube. But
no,
now the main event. Now, this is an interesting one. No one can sit here and it's another one of those like, no one can sit here and tell you who's going to win. But I'm going to tell you who's going to win. Leon Edwards is going to destroy Colby Covington.
Really?
Destroy him.
That's very interesting because I have... Continue, but I have a different prediction.
You're opposite.
Yeah.
Leon Edwards is physically the most aesthetic welterweight.
Yeah.
Okay. You look at that physique. Okay. Wait, just let me land. But I got to get there. Look at the physique this guy has. He's built like a freaking Greek statue.
He's chiseled.
Okay. He's chiseled. Now enough. No homo. Pause. But moving.
Getting a bit too specific here, bro.
Fighting ability. He made Usman look like a kid in the second fight. Usman didn't look clueless. You can say, Usman was injured and. Bro, he made him look like a kid. First guy to take Usman down. Colby Covington couldn't take Usman down in 50 minutes. Leon Edwards took him down in 5 minutes. Leon Edwards is on a 14-15 fight win streak. He hasn't lost.
Yeah.
The only time he's ever looked shaky was when Diaz hit him, and that's because he wasn't expecting it. He wasn't taking Diaz seriously.
Yeah.
So only time
gets slapped and then just.
So only time Leon Edwards has looked weak against Usman, and I said this before, and I will say it again. Usman didn't fight that well. Okay, he was winning, but I think it was the altitude. Remember that was in Colorado, that fight.
Yeah.
The altitude was definitely playing a factor into Leon's bad fight. But for him to hang around in there with that cardio, he was gassed and still laid him out.
Yeah, I have a different prediction.
Go on.
Totally opposite. So I think Colby Covington is going to dismantle Leon Edwards across 5 rounds. It's going to be a decision, or dare I say it, he might even submit him.
I don't see.
I think Colby Covington is going to absolutely dominate Leon Edwards. You want to know why? So you mentioned the first Leon Edwards-Usman fight. I had a different perspective about that. I feel like, except the first round, second to round 2 to round 4, and even most of round 5, Usman was pressuring Leon Edwards. Maybe he wasn't landing as much, but he was dominating the fight. He was leading the wrestling exchanges, and he was nullifying Leon Edwards' kicks.
Not all of them.
Huh?
Not all of them.
Yeah, clearly not the last one. So, but I feel like Leon Edwards' kicking game is his main sort of weapon. His distance and kicking game, very dangerous. And I feel like if Usman was able to pressure Leon Edwards for most of that first fight, Colby Covington is the pinnacle of a pressure fighter. Colby Covington's whole fight is pressure, move forward, wrestling. We saw, obviously it was against Masvidal, but when you see that fight, he just kept smothering him, takedown after takedown. He doesn't have no freakish power. He doesn't have knockout power. He doesn't really submit. He doesn't go for submissions, but he's very good with his cardio, freakish cardio.
His goal is to just break you down and then make you concede the
over
position.
5 rounds, just smother you. Yeah. And I think he's got cardio for days. I think he's actually going to nullify Leon Edwards' striking. And because he doesn't have that fear that Usman had going into the second fight, I feel like with that second fight, Usman, knowing that he got knocked out, was very hesitant. But I feel Colby doesn't have that hesitancy because he's never faced Leon Edwards. So I feel like in that fight, he's just going to go forward. And we could see it dominate from start to finish. And I feel like that's what we're going to see. I'm going decision.
Decision to Colby? I hope not.
Colby Covington, unanimous decision. It's going to be boring, but if that happens, it's going to be boring.
I really hope not. I think Colby will be a very boring champion. I don't think he'll fight enough.
He's talking, but
he'll be so inactive, bro.
Yeah,
he'll fight once a year at best. He'll hold that lightweight.
But I kind of want him to win at the same time. I feel like I love his shit talking. He brings that difference to the welterweight division. Because I'm not gonna lie, Leon Edwards is a bit of a boring champion.
Yeah, he is, but
I'm not gonna lie.
He's a bit boring on the marketing side, but
yeah,
he's too good, man. Like
his
I said,
talent speaks for itself.
He hasn't lost them. Like, people need to clock and
But then you have the argument that he's only beat Usman
twice.
Of course. That's no easy feat. But
that's no easy feat because Colby had 2 chances to do it. He couldn't do it. Yeah. Masvidal had 2 chances to do it. He couldn't do it.
But I feel like MMA and that math doesn't
Woodley
work.
Couldn't do it. Gilbert Burns couldn't do it. And we started sitting here and going, man, how long's Usman? Can Usman have beat Khabib? How long is Usman going to be champion?
He was going on for to the greatest. Yeah, he was.
Let's look at Edwards' run. He beat Nate Diaz. He was scheduled to fight Tyron Woodley and Chimaev, but both of them pulled out on him.
Yeah, let's not talk about the Bilal Muhammad fight.
Yeah,
that was
he beat Rafael Dos Anjos, Gunnar Nelson, Donald Cerrone, Peter Sabata, Brian Barberena, Vicente Luque. Like, his run has been insane, bro. And I feel
like if you look at Colby as well, besides the fact that he couldn't beat Usman, he beat Woodley.
Barely.
Broken ribs.
Yeah. Look, last time...
kind of broke him down.
Last time Leon Edwards lost was against Kamaru Usman in 2015.
Yeah, he has had a big win streak.
He's had a huge win streak.
In saying that, win streaks don't mean much in UFC anymore because you get cracked. Even if you have a win streak, you can get cracked.
Colby's not the guy to crack anyone, though.
Yeah, but I feel like... Yeah, he's not going to crack him, in saying that. But I feel like he's going to wrestle him.
Leon Edwards by... I want to say TKO, but it's going to be worse than a TKO. Leon Edwards by demolishment. He's going to sleep. Lights out.
Just dies.
Lights
kills him.
out. Colby Covington is going to sleep.
Damn.
Okay? He's going
you reckon out cold?
Out cold. And clip this and come back when it happens and talk to me. Because Colby Covington is going to be sleeping for a very long time. Because he's going to underestimate Leon Edwards. And he's going to get caught because
I hope he doesn't.
Leon Edwards is in the matrix. I've watched him. I broke his performances down.
Yeah,
he gets into a zone where he's in the matrix, and you cannot get near him.
Yeah, he's definitely hard to beat.
He's hard to beat, bro. His movement, he's so slick with it. Like the way his head movement, his distance.
Yeah, he's a very smart striker.
His leg kicks are
dangerous. But do you think he can bring like if Colby comes to pressure him, just keep smothering him.
If he earns his respect, and by earning respect, I mean, if Colby gets close and Leon cracks him, Colby won't get close to him again.
That's if he cracks him,
because when Colby gets cracked, he stops.
Yeah,
he did it against Usman. Usman cracked him 3 or 4 times, broke his face, and Colby just like
that was more of a striking match, but
that's what I mean. So when you get into striking matches, Colby gets very complacent, and with someone with Leon Edwards' kicks,
and saying that he has been cracked every fight though,
and he's inactive.
If you look at Colby,
he's too inactive.
Yeah,
Colby's he fought Usman, Jorge.
He's not as active as other champions or other current fighters, but
he hasn't fought any contenders. Let's be real. Like, he hasn't done like a contender rise to get to the title.
He went on a decent run. He beat
Damian Maia. Then he had like a couple of other fights after that. Yeah, but
Masvidal.
Clip it.
Masvidal's not even.
I don't even count that. Masvidal was trash. But clip it and come back. Colby Covington asleep.
So
UFC 296 is this weekend. Make sure you order the pay-per-view. You can order it on Stan Sport. No, not Stan Sport.
Sponsored by KO Sport. KO, run us the money, bro. If you want to sponsor,
do you want to try plug shame? Okay, you can order it on KO Sports UFC 296, the last card of the year. Make sure you guys
discount code Casuals Couch.
Casual
Couch.
Hey, put something aside it.
Bro. Like 1K views on the last video.
Come on, bro. We'll do this stuff.